About a month ago, I created a video on this channel titled, "We Thought MkLeo Dropped This Character," which was analyzing a C-tier tournament down in Mexico where Leo went solo Byleth and won the whole thing, over the likes of Gilhue and most importantly, Spargo. And while this video was a big success, there was one thing that I saw quite often in the comments, being that a lot of people thought MkLeo had picked Ike or Marth back up again, when really the video was just about his Byleth. And you know what? I know where you guys are coming from. It's hard not to reminisce on Leo's old cavalcade of characters, something I've done in quite a few videos on this channel by this point. The legendary Ike, the signature Marth, even some extremely obscure Leo picks, like, I don't know, Sephiroth or something. But come on everyone, let's be real for a minute. Leo would never, ever, under any circumstance, actually go Ike or Marth in the current year. Right? The date is December 19th, 2024. For the majority of scenes across the world, competitive Smash was basically over for the year, and Smash players were all settling in to spend some time with their families over the holidays. But down in Mexico, one tournament decided to have a special edition of their local series, Kazzet Weekly, right before the holidays. This tournament, Kazzet Weekly number 7, the Special Holidays Edition, was quite the stacked local for taking place so late in the year. Signature Mexican competitors like Javi, Junko, MkLeo, MK Big Boss, and of course, MkLeo, all signed up for this tournament. And as you may have guessed by the thumbnail and the not-so-subtle foreshadowing, MkLeo decided to use a interesting character pool at this tournament. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, full disclosure, this tournament is just a local, which doesn't count for the global rankings or anything like that. I know that some of you will naturally wonder, if it's just a local, why should we care? And trust me, I'm going to come back to this question at the end of the video. But for now, let's not look a gift horse in the mouth, whatever that means, and take a look at MkLeo's run at Kazzet Weekly number 7, where he was naturally entering as the first seed. Starting off the bracket in pools, MkLeo first went up against Yukimaru, a Kazuya player. And for this set, Leo picked the character that he'd be playing for the vast majority of the tournament, his original main and ultimate, Ike. This wasn't the only returning character Leo would play, but this was the one he used as his primary go-to. Now, at this point, I can practically hear you asking, why the heck did Leo do this? Well, luckily for us, unlike the last video, I was actually able to ask Leo about this tournament and his reasoning on his character choices. So you'll get some insight on his reasoning later on. For now though, let's take a look at this set. Starting off game 1 on small battlefield, it's like Leo never even left Ike, quickly performing a low percent string that ends up turning into an entire 0 to death once his opponent SDs. In the second stock, we actually see Leo engaging in a juggling situation by using landing up air, which is certainly more of a modern Ike development rather than something you'd see in 2019. Leo then proceeds to convert this situation into a down tilt RAR back air kill confirm, sort of Ike's version of Roy Jair. Not to be completely outdone, Yukimaru does take Leo's first stock, and actually has some pretty solid combos for being Leo's round 1 opponent. After Yukimaru spends some time in advantage state, a red roll in lets Leo land an F tilt to end game 1. Game 2 sees Yukimaru counterpick the town and city, a smart choice for this matchup. The tall ceiling means that up air will take longer to take stocks, and Kazuya can use his special throw to hopefully set up for edgeguard situations. Both players take turns racking up percent until Leo reads Yukimaru's neutral getup off ledge, punishing with an F tilt for the stock. And Leo's ledge trapping continues to be deadly, forcing Yukimaru up into the air, wave landing onto the platform, and waiting out the air dodge to get yet another up air. On another stage, perhaps that'd be it, but here on town, Yukimaru was able to survive and return to ledge, only to lose yet another stock to a roll read F-tilt punish. To finish off game 2, you can actually see Leo slowly walk up to Kazuya here, waiting for a good moment to find down tilt into forward air, which Leo then extends into a deep edge guard, back airing to take the game and the set over Yukimaru 2-0. Let's go to MkLeo now to hear some of his thoughts about this set in particular.
First of all, the most important, I just like Fire Emblem. I'm a Fire Emblem fan, but specifically Ike. This goes way back, right? Because when the game comes out, I wanted to play Ike, one of my favorite characters of all time. So I did play Ike, won some tournaments with Ike. So I guess Ike has like an special heart for me, right? I still remember when Brawl came out and Ike got announced. It was huge for me. I started playing Ike again because I play a lot of doubles online with my girlfriend in our free time. So I guess Ike is just funny to destroy people, bro. Like when you're better than someone playing Ike. Okay, I don't think Ike does that bad against Kazuya. Basically, you're gonna die at 0% if the guy's just good no matter what. So you got a big sword, you make it back. You kind of don't get edge guarded that much. You can kill him early, and he has bad recovery, so you can even edge guard in early.
Now, unfortunately, MkLeo's next set would not be put on stream, one of only 2 at this tournament that wasn't recorded. This set saw Leo stay Ike against a Snake main named Elite GX, taking the set in yet another 2-0 sweep. Though, while we may not have the VOD, we do have MkLeo's thoughts on the set itself, so let's hear that.
Ike vs Snake. I remember Ike vs Snake used to be one of my favorite matches before when it was like the vanilla game, no DLC. And I remember I used to beat the Snake, sorry. So I thought it was just a good idea. And well, Ike has a lot of range, raw power. I guess gets Nikita a lot, but abuses Snakes in a banished state, so it's good.
Now moving on in bracket, MkLeo went up in his final pool set, only needing a win here to make top 16 through winner's side. His opponent was Pebbles, a Donkey Kong main. But Leo didn't actually go Ike in this set, or even Byleth for the lopsided matchup. Rather, in perhaps the most confusing character choice I've seen from Leo in years, he went Sephiroth. That's right, a character he basically only used when he released for the Sephiroth Invitational. Leo's Seph just showed up out of nowhere. The swordiest of swordies. It's time to see if Leo can pilot this character as elegantly as his more practiced champions. Game 1 saw Leo use this character as if he's a practiced main, doing things like hitting a Shadow Flare and when it goes off, using that opportunity to go for up B, both for the potential hit and the fast landing, pairing it into a fair to continue his advantage state. And after juggling this DK from ledge to ledge, Leo eventually gets the stock using one of the only truly broken things on Sephiroth, his counter, Scintilla. Later in the game, Pebbles manages to get MkLeo off stage, going out for an edgeguard. But Leo smartly uses a single Shadow Flare to both disrupt the edgeguard attempt and put Pebbles in just enough end lag that he's the one who suddenly can't make it back to the stage. And at the end of the game, Leo misses Sephiroth's infamously short grab before resetting neutral and using an empty hop to bait out a shield. Pebbles stays in shield too long, so Leo gets the grab and up throws to set up for a juggle situation. To avoid an up air, Pebbles drifts hard, but Leo is able to cover this option with a back air to take game 1 without dropping a single stock. Pebbles ends up counterpicking to Town and City for game 2. Pretty much for the same reasons Yukimaru did in Leo's first set. The tall ceiling reduces the risk of Sephiroth's up airs killing early, and since Pebbles hasn't been going for ding-dongs anyways, he's likely wanting to take advantage of these small side blast zones to secure early edgeguards. Though this certainly has the potential to backfire, as one of Sephiroth's main strengths is being in contention for the best edgeguarding character in the entire game. Though it's not an edgeguard that ends up taking the first stock, but rather a tech chase dash attack that sends Pebbles onto the quickly retreating Town and City platform, which flies into the blast zone with DK still on it before Pebbles can get off. You can even see Leo, who had been preparing for a ledge trapping sequence, shake his head. Leo then gets a grab with Pebbles at 63% on the left side of the stage, converting into a classic Sephiroth up throw into nair, which Leo then extends into several forward airs to the right side of the stage. And instead of backing off and preparing to ledge trap, Leo instead predicts Pebbles' desired recovery path and uses Scintilla to catch it, taking the second stock. Immediately afterward, Leo tries to cheese Pebbles at around 20% with an air dodge read F smash, but Pebbles doesn't fall for it. In this position, he cleverly recovers very high to avoid Sephiroth's deadly edge guarding, though the end lag does allow Leo to land a fully charged Shadow Flare. Soon after, Leo gets Pebbles into an up air juggle situation and correctly reads the air dodge to get back down onto stage. Pebbles picks an aggressive side B to get out of this, but Leo correctly reads it and responds with yet another counter, a powerful option that is able to kill from near center stage, taking the game and the set with a double 3-stock from MkLeo. Even though Sephiroth isn't a common character for Leo, we can see his fundamental knowledge of every character in the game with advanced Sephiroth combo routes, like hitting nair into reverse nair to continue the combo instead of just settling for a 2-piece nair fair. Combine that with deadly frame trapping in juggling situations and taking full advantage of Sephiroth's counter, we can see that Leo pilots this character at the same level of excellence as any other. He didn't even need to use any planking or side B camping that many high-level Sephiroth players believe is necessary. Though, to be perfectly fair, Leo was never really put into the position where he had to do that, as both games were dominant from start to finish. Before we move on to the next set, let's see what Leo has to say about his Sephiroth.
I think I did go Sephiroth because my chat wanted me to go Sephiroth, so don't take that too seriously. That's literally the only character I did not play, like, for serious. Sephiroth against Donkey Kong, I won that matchup because the chat wanted me to go Seph. And when I sat down and picked Sephiroth, I didn't even know I had to play a DK. But when I saw the DK, I was like, okay, this shit free.
MkLeo now moved on from pools into top 16, needing to win just one more set to make it into winner's side top 8. Sadly though, winner's quarters was the second of the 2 sets to not be put on stream at this tournament. Though silver lining, it's the only set that doesn't really fit the theme of this video. You see, for the only time in this tournament, MkLeo went one of his primary characters, using Byleth to defeat Kazuya main Aqua in a 2-0 sweep. This could potentially be a matchup thing, but it could also be that Aqua specifically requested that Leo go one of his mains. Let's see what MkLeo says about this to see if we can get a more definitive answer.
I did go Violet against Kazuya because the Kazuya that I played, like further in the bracket, is better, and he's actually like one of the, he's probably the best Kazuya player in my region. So I just didn't want to risk it. And actually the games were really close, so good thing I didn't risk it.
Now that MkLeo was in top 8, he'd start facing against the other globally recognized players attending this tournament. First up in winner semis was Mustaine, most famous for being a Terry Wi-Fi warrior. But even here offline, he had made it to winner semis to face off against Leo. And for this set, MkLeo would swap off of Ike and onto a different character, one of his most popular and recognizable choices, Marth. Starting game 1 on the classic PS2, we see Leo nearly kill at 82% with a tipper side B. One of the only Marths I see really taking advantage of this. Though after missing the edge guard, Mustaine was able to make it back onto the stage, only to lose the first stock after Leo countered power dunk. However, Mustaine was able to quickly even the game. We actually see the opposite thing happen in the next stock, with Mustaine taking a lead here, but with Leo evening it up relatively quickly, getting a stock that seems to surprise him. Even though Mustaine has the lead in the last stock, Leo was able to send Terry off with a tipper F-tilt, before going for an insanely deep edge guard, taking the first game when Mustaine can't make it back. Running it back to PS2 for the first time in the video, Mustaine takes the lead with an insanely early kill off the top through up air up B. Trying to push his advantage, Mustaine does an inadvisable Buster Wolf on Leo's shield, resulting in a lost stock from up smash. And it was here where Leo made his big comeback, getting an amazing combo string on the ledge for some early damage before eventually sealing out the stock with down air into tipper up smash, only for the game to be quickly evened up. But demonstrating his mastery over Marth's tippers, Leo sealed out the game with a tipper side B at ledge that killed Mustaine at 75% post-hit, sealing out Game 2 for the Hero King. Running it back yet again, Game 3 saw an offstage scramble situation where Leo clips Mustaine with a soft aerial, resulting in a misinput that causes Mustaine to lose his first stock, with Leo being in the dominant lead for basically the first time in the set. The second stock had Mustaine get super high in percent, with several tipper aerials just not killing. And despite a power geyser jump scare almost stealing Leo's stock, he's able to survive and find the kill with up throw. And lastly, during a scramble situation on the ledge, Leo successfully reads Mustaine's roll, hitting a tipper up tilt to take the game and the set, winning in a clean 3-0 sweep. You may wonder why Leo chose Marth here over Ike, and if I had to guess, I'd say it has something to do with the matchup, as at the very least, Lucina is considered to be one of Terry's hardest matchups. But hey, don't take my word for it, let's see what Leo himself has to say about this set.
Marth is just very good against shadows in general. I beat him riddles before with Marth, so running up into Mustaine, which is the best area in Mexico, I was just confident. My Marth is kinda good because I made it look easy.
And finally, MkLeo moved into winners finals to face off against MK Big Boss, his longtime doubles partner who had just defeated MK Law to make it here. For this set, Leo stuck to Ike, and it was the fiercest competition he's had the entire tournament. Game 1 didn't actually have the first stock recorded because of production errors, but it's fine. Both players were even going on to stock 2. Later on, MkLeo hit Big Boss with an up air coming off the ledge, which itself didn't kill, but the landing up air to cover the platform did. Game 1 eventually wrapped up with a down tilt into fair combo, sending Big Boss off stage, at which point Leo was able to catch his recovery with an up air to take Game 1. Game 2 saw Big Boss counterpick to Final Destination, a wise choice due to not being able to hide from gyro under a platform, and Ike suffering from the lack of platforms. And after MK Big Boss went up nearly an entire stock, he'd go on to take the game, the first one that Leo would drop in the entire tournament. Leo would counterpick to Hollow Bastion for Game 3, basically for the same reasons that FD was good for Big Boss, just reversed now. And even though Big Boss was the one who took the first stock, Leo evened it up quickly with a down tilt RAR back air. And Leo would go on to take the game by reading a neutral getup and punishing. Game 4 had MK Big Boss counterpick to Kalos, which is often a next best to FD, and actually take MkLeo's second stock stupidly early due to an unfortunate offstage situation. A lead that Big Boss carried all the way to a game victory, taking us to a decisive Game 5. We went to Small Battlefield for the 5th and final game, which saw MkLeo go up an entire stock in a reversal of the previous game, before getting to the end and using Big Boss's gyro against him to seal out the set with an F-tilt, winning 3-2 and moving into grand finals from winner's side. Now, MK Big Boss would immediately win in losers finals versus Javi, moving back up into grands to face off against MkLeo again, who stuck with Ike. Leo started off grand finals hot, chasing Big Boss across the sky to land a back air and take the stock. But it was Big Boss who made a comeback to take Game 1 off of a gyro edgeguard. Game 2 also started quite explosively, taking Big Boss's first stock at 90% off an early up air, a lead that Leo rode all the way to a game victory through up B. Game 3 saw Big Boss respond in a big way, going up 3 stocks to 1 in a very dominant game to go up 2-1 in the set. Not to be outdone, Leo caught Big Boss's landing with F-tilt to get into the lead in Game 4, eventually bringing us to a 5th and final game of Grand Finals. This game saw Big Boss utilize a phenomenal down toss gyro to F-smash combo to put Leo off stage, where even side B didn't let him recover. And not missing his chance, Big Boss won the game to reset the bracket and bring us to a final set between these two players. And so, we moved into the Grands reset between MkLeo and MK Big Boss. Leo opened up fiercely, taking Big Boss's first stock at 90% post-hit with yet another early up air kill. And riding off of this momentum, Leo took game 1. However, Big Boss was on something else, opening up game 2 with an astonishing 0 to death on MkLeo, done by keeping him on the ledge using fair and gyro. And with such an astonishing opening, Big Boss's victory in game 2 was assured. Moving over to Town and City, Big Boss kept getting the lead on Leo stock for stock, but an unexpected burst dash attack from Leo followed up by a gyro toss let him take game 3 and go up 2-1. And game 4 is where Leo really woke up, going up not just 1, but 2 stocks with the help of a super armored up B. And with such a monumental lead, victory was all but assured for our hero, defeating MK Big Boss 3-1 in the Grand Finals reset and winning Kazzet Weekly number 7. And before we close off this video, let's hear what the man himself has to say about this victory.
I guess I just wanted to play Big Boss with a different character, and I said that I was gonna play the characters that I played with my girlfriend, so I guess I went Ike. Ike is just a character that a lot of people haven't played like so much against. So I feel like people have problems at recognizing some of Ike's stuff as for now. And I do believe Big Boss kinda got like gimmick quite a bit. There's no really explanation behind it. I was just like, okay, I know I can beat Big Boss with Ike, so I'll try to do it. I remember I lost the first set, but in the second set I kind of destroyed him. So adaptation, baby. That also has to do with adaptation. But yeah, like I knew I was gonna win.
You tell the camera and the fans who love your Ike and love your Marth, is your Ike and Marth dead, or are you gonna see it again in 2025?
All right. This is a hard question. I don't know if they're dead. I wish they were not, because I love them so much. I'm thinking, I cannot really think about a matchup where Ike is better than Marth. I can tell you that Ike is not coming back for sure. Maybe in a weekly again, maybe for fun. But in a serious match, I think it is way more likely that you see Marth appearing in 2025.
And so, with all of that said and done, one question still remains. Why should we care about any of this? After all, this is just a local, with only a handful of notable players, and didn't count for the rankings whatsoever. So why do we care? Well, because it's fun? I mean, yeah, this doesn't count for Lumirank, and no, I don't think Leo will be going Ike or Marth or Sephiroth at a major anytime soon. But isn't it fun to take a look back at the characters he used to main and see that he's just as proficient with them as he was back then? How he's followed the progression of their metas and integrated it into his own play? And isn't it awesome to see him succeed with a character that he doesn't really play anymore? I don't know, I guess that's just my take on it though. Let me know if you've enjoyed seeing Leo use all these characters in the comments. And with that all said, I've been Mr. Mice, and thank you all so very much for watching.